This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted for the first time in a while to be joined by the knowledge, Spencer Fearon. Spencer, before we get into boxing, talk to me. How's things? How are you?
I'm really good, you know. I'm really good. Pushing forward. So yeah, I'm grateful, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm grateful for getting to see that fight on Saturday night. That was an incredible night. You were in the thick of it when Clarissa pulled up. She got out. You were there. At the end of the night, I saw the dressing room. You were there. You were in the thick of it. Talk to me about what was an incredible occasion that was capped off with a stunning performance by Clarissa Shields.
You know, I've been really, really fortunate. I've known Clarissa Shields for like a decade now. Yeah. From when she came over here and won her first Olympic gold medal. So yeah, so we've kept in touch from then. She's blessed us when she came over to the UK 2 years ago on The Fight Is Right. Got big up Alvina Johnson as well, because she was the one that incorporated that link up when she came on the show. And then from then we've just been really, really cool. And I got a lot of time for her. Yeah, I mean, especially like everything that she's gone through, and like she's been through a lot, Matt. So yeah, I give her credit. But when it just comes to skills, it was like I was saying previously, when this fight was first announced, and you saw Dimitri Salita reiterate the same things that I was saying. I said this is the closest thing in women's boxing that got to Sugar Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns, right? September of '81. And to tell you the honest truth, Clarissa Shields turned up as a bit of Sugar Ray Leonard, a bit of Tommy Hearns, and a bit of Pernell Whitaker.
A bit of Floyd Mayweather on the road.
And you're right. Essence of Floyd, especially with the Ellen up and the catch counter. Unfortunately, Savannah Marshall didn't do her side of the bargain. She didn't come out like Tommy Hearns. She didn't come out like how I thought she was going to do. And that's no disrespect to Savannah Marshall. It's just the fact that she was in with a better fighter, a classier fighter, a person who knows how to gauge range, a person who knows how to fight like at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And that's what Clarissa Shields was doing. She was fighting at the beginning, the middle, and the end. And when she was getting caught, she said, okay, you caught me with a shot, I'm coming back with 3s and 4s. And that was a difference of IQ level, where you think there was a different kind of IQ. And the thing about it is this, you're going to look at all the other middleweights, Savannah Marshall will most probably beat. But unfortunately, Savannah Marshall ain't going to beat. They could fight 100 times and Clarissa Shields most probably going to win 100 times. It's just one of those things.
Is it now time that the boxing world, because in the build-up to this fight, the general consensus from a lot of people, even experts in boxing, not necessarily myself, were saying Savannah's power will be the difference in this fight. Is it now time that we as...
Is that what you thought as well, Matt? Tell the truth. Is that what you thought?
No, but I don't get involved in predictions for obvious reasons. But for me, it's now. Is it now time the boxing community puts a lot more respect on Clarissa Shields' name for what she is and what she's done?
Well, the thing about it is this: the real people know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The real people know. The real people know. Big up Trill Boxing. You know what I mean? CC's. You know what I mean? BF. You know what I mean? 7-8 Sports. Those over that side, those people know. You know what I mean? Boxing Blue Bloods. Those over that side, they know. Certain demographics know. They say, well, this girl's fantastic at what she does. She's incredible at what she does. But then there's certain people that didn't rightly get it. They don't get it. Yeah. And I understand why you don't rightly get it. And the thing is because I think what she's demonstrating it from where she is and because she's an outspoken person. And with Clarissa Shields, she's a lot like Marmite. You either like her or you don't like her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? But when you get to know her, she's good people. And the mere fact, like, on Friday, I get a phone call and she says, yo, Unks, like, you know what I mean? I want to turn up in a Rolls Royce. So I said, okay then, right? I want to turn up in a Rolls Royce. Get a phone call. So I didn't, all right, no problem. I just said, down, I'll swear out, don't worry. So what color do you want? She said, either a white one or a black one, but I want to turn up in a Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? I've got a bad boy Range Rover, but it's not a Rolls Royce. So I'm like, don't worry, leave it to Uncle Spenny. One phone call. ARC C2, so I got to big them up. You know what I mean? Big up RJ and the rest of his team. I said, like, yeah, last time Clarissa was here, you know what I mean? I had a golden Rolls Royce. You know what I mean? That's 2 years ago. You know what I mean? We were lockdown. I need the money. I had to go, right? So it's like, right, I'll go find this car. My pal said, look, no. I said, yeah, you wanna come and drop Clarissa Shields in? Clarissa staying at the Intercontinental Hotel, right?
Yeah.
The Intercontinental to the venue. You can, and she had a fabulous gown on, but underneath she had her boxing boots on because she said, I'm running my boxing boots, right? So she's like, you could have walked it. It's 2 minutes. But she said, no, I want to make an entrance. And I'm glad that she did make the entrance because it was amazing. And also, again, like I'm saying, the whole card, I was in a barbershop today. You know what I mean? Big up Colby Cuts, right? I'm in the barbershop today and everybody was talking about it because from start to finish, every fight was excellent. Not one fight on that card was like, every fight was excellent. You know what I mean? Maya Beauregard, wicked fight. Do you know what I mean? Every fight that we had was excellent. Lauren Price, that's my girl. Told you that from day dot when she won the Olympic gold medal. You know what I mean? Just to see all of, you know what I mean, Sweet Caroline Dubois, just to see like the whole card, salute to what Boxer put on. And you know the nicest thing, I've got big up Dan Miller who works for Boxer, right? I like the fact that they brought out so many celebrities who were sat around ringside. I'm talking like guys from the urban scene as well. You know what I mean? Props to We Love, props to Dizzy, you know what I mean? Props to all of the Top Boy cast, props to the Banjo Brothers. It was just bro, seriously, it was like a wicked turnout. It was just so nice. And I could also see with all the nonsense that is happening around boxing of recent, all the bad press that is getting there and this drug test and that drug test and blah, 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 and all the rest of it. It was just so fitting to see women boxing is not women boxing no more. It's just boxing, right? Because the skills demonstrated then and the fact that the best are willing to fight the best and they're going out, what was demonstrated there was just amazing. And I'm still in awe, man. It was wicked.
I think someone said it best. I think in terms of performance, they said that was like a generational performance from a special talent in terms of Clarissa's performance. In your opinion, is she the GWOAT? Undoubtedly. Yeah,
listen. You have to say this, right? There were fighters at the time that never got certain opportunities, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like Lucien Rijkaard was a wicked fighter.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now. Any of you young kids who just go with Lucien Rijkaard, that girl was bad, right? Incredible. Anne Wolf, wicked fighter. Layla Ali never went nowhere near her, right?
Yeah.
Kirsty Martin, the coal miner's daughter, she brought something special into boxing, right? All of those, but we got to break it down to accomplishments. And accomplishments, Clarissa Shields, 2-time gold medalist in the Olympics, World Games gold medalist. You know what I mean? Free weight world champion and being undisputed in every single weight. Nobody can't argue with that. Obviously, and anyone turning around saying that she ain't the GWOAT, you're hating. She is the GWOAT. And that's that. She's the GWOAT. She's incredible. She's really good for boxing. And you know what? And I'm glad that she was called my Uncle Spence. So, you know what I mean? It's like, she just got to keep on doing what she's doing. I was very, very impressed with her. You know what I mean? I'd like to see her come over. You know, I'm going to be real with you, I think she could make a real killing over in the UK, similarly to what Sugar Ray Robinson did in the 50s.
Yeah.
When he did the European tour.
Mm-hmm. You've got to say as well that in terms of the UK, this is the place to be for women's boxing. I know we're saying it's boxing, but the females get, I think, more of a push here as well. And she can become a bigger star, I would say, maybe here than in the...
And there's good fights. There's good fights here for her. You know what I mean? I would love to see her in with Natasha Jonas. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah. Simply, and I'm going to tell you the truth, because Clarissa Shields is not a one-punch knockout artist, right? She's not a concussive puncher, but she hits hard enough. Because I'm telling you, when she hits Savannah Marshall at certain times, Savannah Marshall had to like, oh, I got chest back a little bit. I don't want to be so forthcoming. Yeah, I'd like to see her in because like she got two titles now, right? So I would like to see her in now with Natasha Jonas because that's a sellable fight. We're enjoying the fact of how things are in professional boxing for the females, and I know the UK would like to see her again because you were there on Saturday night and it was amazing, man. It was seriously props to Boxer, props to Sky, props to Ben Shalom, props to all of the. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to say even when she came to, I think it was Cardiff, when she was on the Chris Eubank Jr. undercard. Even then, it felt like a big fight feel when she did the entrance. She came out, she had a certain presence about her. So I think that's come back to the UK again. Let's talk about the fight. In the last half an hour, it's come out saying that Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora looks like it's confirmed for Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. You know what? My thoughts on that, I'd rather see Derek Chisora go in there and fight Tyson Fury than Manuel Charles.
Yeah.
That's number one, right? And number two, and I've said this before, I remember the first time, Derek Chisora is stupid enough to think that he's going to win the fight. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So Derek Chisora, and I'm not saying that disrespectfully, I've got a lot of time. Derek Chisora is coming to win that fight. I want you to realize this, He's not coming to have no... Derek Chisora and Don Charles are sitting down and trying to work out a game plan, and they fought Tyson Fury twice. They are going to do their damnedest, right? They're going to leave it all on the line. They're going to go out there and do their damnedest to come out victorious. And because of that, I would rather see that than any Manuel Charles, right? And I'm saying good on Derek Chisora. You know why I'm saying good on Derek Chisora? Because the guy is following his dream.
Yeah. You can't knock Derek Chisora. I mean, he's been on the end of some harsh decisions and he's kept batting away, just come off a good victory, and now he's going into there with one hell of an opportunity with someone who is an amazing opportunity for Derek Chisora. And you know what? And fair play to Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury is giving Derek Chisora a payday, number one. Yeah. And they've waited up. He's giving a massive payday. He's giving a payday, number one, right? And this is not something that doesn't happen in boxing. It happened in the 30s with Joe Lewis for a man called John Henry Lewis, right? Who was his friend, who was like on the tail end of his career. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna give you a payday, right? But the difference is I don't think John Henry Lewis thought they could win the fight. Here is the difference. Derek Chisora actually believes in his heart of hearts that he's going to beat Tyson Fury. That he's going to go out there and try and beat Tyson Fury. It's a massive arc. Anybody turn around and say, right, it's a massive, gigantuous arc of Derek Chisora to try and come out victorious against Tyson Fury. But one thing I do know is that he's going to give it a go. And it's going to be exciting for how long it lasts. Why do you think then, because it looked like this time around, we were going to see Fury Joshua. In your opinion, the outside looking in, reading what everyone's put in, lack of communication, this, that, and the third. Why is Fury Joshua not happening? Where does the blame lie for this? Where does the buck stop?
The buck stops with common sense. Mm-hmm. That's where it stops, right? I think Anthony Joshua is doing things right now, seems to do certain things where he's finding himself. He needs to find himself. And I think that was a kind of sneaky move. We're offering the Joshua fight. Knowing that, when they say, like, why would you want to kick? You're not even kicking a man when he's down. You're trying to stamp on him when he's down. You know what I mean? Let Joshua rejuvenate. Let Joshua come back with confidence. And then let's go and see that fight. That's what I'm saying. That's when I want to see that fight. I want to see when, we know, Joshua ain't got no chance. Let Joshua come back, get a couple wins. And then we say, make that fight happen. It doesn't even have to be for a belt. Let that fight happen.
Yeah, that fight's big enough as it is, whether there's a one belt online for or none.
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder made his return at the weekend. This punch now, when I saw it, I didn't even see it. It just happened in front of me, and I'm like, what the hell has happened there? The lack of backlift on that right hand to cause that damage is frightening. Whether they were sparring partners or not, how pleased are you to see Deontay Wilder back?
Listen to me. Deontay Wilder has ridiculous punching power. And the thing about it is this, is like, I watched it from someone sitting ringside and they filmed it and they must have posted it on the ground. So I saw it and I thought it was actually a left hook because he hit with a right and he came out with a left hook. I thought it was a left hook.
Same.
But what I'm trying to say is like, the way that I saw Hellenius drop to the ground, yeah, I know Deontay Wilders got pent up feelings for a bald-headed guy with a beard because that's what Tyson Fury. Listen, he goes up. That was, nobody's done that to Hellenius before. No. Nobody's come remotely close, and he cold lamped him. So it's good because it brings Deontay Wilder, like, what if he catches anybody? They're gone.
Well, look at Deontay Wilder versus, we talked about Joshua many years ago. Once, like you mentioned, Joshua, let him get a couple of wins. That fight's huge. Joshua and Wilder. That fight's mega.
Of course it's huge. Of course that fight's massive. But I'm going to be real with you. A fight of that magnitude, I would want to see it for a belt.
Probably, yeah.
I really would. No, I'm just going to be real. I would want to see it for a world title, right? Whether or not it ever happens, but you know what? Don't play to my excuse. Fighters should just fight each other anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, fighters should fight each other anyway. Like, go back in the 70s, good guys fought good guys. You know what I mean? Ron Lyle and George Foreman put one of the greatest heavyweight fights that we'll ever see. It wasn't for a world title. One of the greatest fights, punch out, right? So sometimes it's about, when it comes to this and like the scale of that, I believe that it should be for a world title.
Yeah. What about Wilder versus Andy Ruiz? I believe that's a fight that everyone sort of seems to be saying in the States is one that can happen next. It could happen, but I'm telling you, I'm going to be real with you. Andy Ruiz will get hurt in that fight, you know? Yeah. I'm just going to be real. Andy, nah, listen, you cannot doubt. Andy Ruiz is very hittable as well. And you don't get hit by Deontay Wilder. And now that Deontay Wilder, he's learning things now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, He's different. I've never seen one punch power like that, especially when it's not someone just winging in a big right hand and it's going from here to there. It's different. I've got to ask you about this because we've not touched on it yet. Sensitive topic, obviously. This Conor Benn failed test. We mentioned about all the good things that have happened in boxing. Something came out yesterday. I think it was Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. You had that powerful moment on the podcast yourself, Tunde, and The Fight Is Right. For anyone who hasn't seen it, go watch it. Chris Eubank Sr. came on and gave a speech, an emotional speech about what's gone on and how he saw things. What's your feeling about this situation? Because it's one that we need to give Conor Benn the chance to prove his innocence. But where is it sort of left boxing at the minute?
Boxing needs to be legislated and not tolerated. Okay? Yeah. I believe that we need some strong arm legislationary law brought into boxing to kind of solve these things. Or we need a kind of like a FIFA of professional boxing. 100%. Right? Like in America, boxing is legislated because it's by the state. So it's done off of the back of the state.
Yeah.
That's not happened here. So it is like a wild west. That's what we're seeing. And when you're dealing with lives on both sides, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr., when you're dealing with lives, I believe that stipulations to safeguard and protect the fighter should be paramount. Now, you just heard Nigel Benn say, like, we knew about something 3 months ago and but you know, my son's innocent, right? I'm not arguing Nigel Benn.
He changed it to 3 weeks and he corrected himself in a social media post, but originally he said 3 months.
Okay, right. All right. So regardless, there's something's up, right? And I'm saying this here. Boxing is the only sport where somebody can have no experience in the sport or of the sport, but they can creep their way in. Trainers are doing it. You know what I mean? Guys who turn around and say their physios are doing it. You know what I mean? Guys who say they're physicians and their medical men are doing it. So I'm saying there needs to be better infrastructure put in place to safeguard the professional fighters. right? And this is what I'm telling you, because I'm seeing certain trainers right now out there who can't teach a dead pigeon to lay down, right? So, but they're trainers now. They're all up in the corners. They're, oh yeah, I know boxing now. Or like guys go, yeah, but I know the game. No, you don't. You don't. You haven't lived this thing. So I want to know, like, on certain people that come into the sport, who have you learned from? You know what I mean? Where do you get your experience from? And your experience can't be at the experience of myself, period, right? This is a serious, touchy subject that I could speak on for ages if I really, really had to, but I don't want to. Reason why? Because it's played out. Reason why? Because I'm pretty close to Eubank's family, right? I'm tight with Connor. I'm going to be real with you. Like, me and Connor talk all the time. You know what I mean? And it's weird because I'm more close to Connor Ben than I am to Chris Eubank Jr., but I'm more close to Chris Eubank Sr. than I am to Nigel Benn. Me and Nigel Benn was really cool when I was a kid, but it go apart, right? And I just want safety to reign supreme. But what I am saying is that certain stipulations need to be done inside of professional boxing, so it doesn't, especially in this country, doesn't seem like a wild, wild west. And we should have a proper governing regulatory board. And if we had that, then it can make the safety of the fighter paramount. And it seems like certain things where they were trying to push this fight to go ahead, that they were not taking the safety of a professional fighter, both men, they weren't taking that into hand. So then, therefore, then it leads me to think we need a regulatory board, that could really stamp authority down to put certain people think because they got money now or TV deals that they can say, right, we can do this and do that. But I'm glad that the moral compass guide took over and then the fight was aborted.
100%. I think for me, what was staggering being a part of that fight week was when it came out, it was then revealed that they've known about it for a few weeks. Now in boxing, however they do it, I would have thought one rule would be either from a promoter or a fighter side. If there is a failed test, no matter if someone is saying I'm innocent, it's bollocks, it's nonsense. If there is a failed test, no matter what, that puts a halt to any event happening. The fact that it gets to fight week where fans are paying for hotels, and it's like, we need a process. I'm thinking, let's just forget a process for a minute. You've got both of these families historically have been involved in events, i.e. Nick Blackwell, Gerald McLennan, where people's lives are changed permanently. And you're just thinking, I'm thinking, what? Surely at the time, it's like, until we have received proof and it's written, this can't happen weeks ago. So I was a bit baffled by that, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, you know what? The whole thing has left a bitter taste in my mouth, but this is still a sport that I love. You know what I mean? So I'll say to people like you, you know what I mean? You guys now, your new channel, Into Boxing, like, you just keep on doing what you're doing. To anyone who really wants to hear the rules and the rules on the breakdown, you've got to join me, Baba Tundi Ajay on the Fighters Right. We'll just talk the rules because there's no hidden agenda, and I don't need to beg no friends from nobody because I've got enough friends and I've got a beautiful family, right? So I can speak my mind. A lot of people, they're not permitted to speak their mind. They'd like to, but then if they do, they're going to get banned from shows. If they speak their mind, then they're not getting the accreditation that they so desperately need.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. I'm blessed.
Absolutely. Well, look, Spencer, it's been a pleasure. If no one's seen it, I'm sure they have. Tune into The Fight Is Right. Him and Tunde do a great show. And we will catch up again very shortly, I'm sure.
All right, peace to your fingers, Matt. Keep up the good work, my brother. Take care. God bless.